overall, they were very somber in the press conference. Nick Costa, Jordan Webb were also in the press conference, and they're disappointed. And they definitely want to see something, especially coming up against Oregon. It's going to be a really tough game, and I think they're more aware of that being a tough game. They had better chances.
It'll be a tough game for sure.
UCLA.
So absolutely,
Exactly.
Alexis, I agree. Well, this week was also an interesting week for the NFL for several Buffaloes. They were making some impact on the field there. Baltimore cornerback Jimmy Smith had 2 tackles and a pass deflection, helping his team defeat Cleveland Thursday night. Defensive back Jaleel Brown had 2 tackles for the Chiefs, and Green Bay Packers kicker Mason Crosby made 4 extra points in a 1-point victory over the Saints. Offensive linemen Nate Solder and Tyler Columbus both started for the Patriots and Redskins respectively, each leading their teams to wins.
CU's cross-country team is well on their way to defending their Pac-12 championship title. Both the men's and women's cross-country teams won the Rocky Mountain Shootout. On Saturday, junior transfer Jake Hers won the men's race with a time of 24 minutes and 34 seconds, which is the 4th best time ever at the course. Freshman Carrie Verdon recorded the fastest time for the women, finishing in 21 minutes and 3 seconds. She was 3rd overall in the race. Members of the team shared their excitement for the rest of the season after the race.
I think we all look great. I mean, had a lot of guys under 26. I know that. And turning around and seeing Pierce right there, Morgan and Hugh, and just a bunch of guys who have been, working their butts off. Just seeing them as soon as you turn around on the finish line is a great thing to see.
I think we did really well. We showed that we have a lot of potential going into the season. A lot of people stepped up today, and I think we're just excited to see what we can do next. So it's gonna be a good season.
Cross-country debut, an exciting one this weekend at the 27th Annual Rocky Mountain Shootout. Now his record-breaking debut makes him this week's Sports Mag's Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, it was a good race all around as a team. I felt really good individually. I felt strong early on in the race, and I knew I had an opportunity to run pretty fast and, try and notch my name up there high on the course record list. But yeah, it was good. I felt strong, and I'm looking forward to the later part of the season. Right now, I think I play a pretty big role with the team's success. Right now it looks like we're going to have a strong 1-2-3. We need to find a 4th and a 5th man, but yeah, I think I play a big role in the team's success for Pac-12s and Nationals. So, yeah, I guess it feels good, and, I'm really looking forward to defending the Pac-12 title. I like Spider-Man. I don't know why, I just do. I like the movies. I don't know, I guess I like to listen to some rap, maybe a little Red Hot Chili Peppers to get the mood going. So yeah. I'm Jake Hers, and I'm CU Sports Mag Athlete of the Week.
Coming up, Anton Baru and Wiley Uhrig break down the Colorado football team's loss to UCLA.
Also later in the show, a profile of a popular CU cheerleader. Stay tuned.
CU students who join the Peace Corps are usually very adventurous people, very outdoorsy. They usually are very caring, very passionate people.
For the 2nd year in a row, CU Boulder has outproduced all other universities in the nation, both big and small, in the number of alumni who are serving as Peace Corps volunteers. That's a very, very important thing for us.
The Peace Corps continues to be the gold standard for international volunteer service. It's Americans making a difference around the world, and many of those Americans have come from this great university.
I'm not sure if it's a beautiful setting or the mountains or the weather, but one thing's for sure, there's a special civic pride on this campus.
The great spirit of volunteerism here on campus and internationalism that you find here really just kind of brings Peace Corps out a little more than it does on other campuses, I think.
You should be very proud to come from a campus that inspires so much public service and collectively works to build a better world.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, how was your weekend? Oh, have you studied for jogging? Oh, Yeah.
Pay attention. It matters.
Well, it was another disappointing loss for CU against the UCLA Bruins last weekend.
SportsMag's Anton Baru and Wiley Uhrig took to the double team set to analyze the game this last weekend.
With Wiley Uhrig for this week's segment of Double Team. So let's get right into it. CU lost again, another big loss to UCLA, kind of becoming a tradition here, big losses for the football team. But I think the bright spot that we can take away from this is that I honestly saw a big improvement in the defense's secondary. I know that's hard to say because they gave up some big plays through the passing game, but to be honest, I was noticing the corners were covering their receivers, safeties were doing a great job of backing up the D, and they held UCLA quarterback Brett Hundley to under 300 yards passing, which I think that's a big deal. The reason why they lost is because they let 4 UCLA running backs rush for over 200 yards combined. And, I mean, if you can't stop the run, that's like the fundamental part of the offense. If you can't stop that, then you're just in trouble for the rest of the game.
Well, what I thought of was our offense was really lacking the whole entire game. We haven't scored first since the Sacramento State game. And when you're not scoring first, you're not getting momentum toward the game. You're not getting your players involved, getting them pumped up. And first downs. UCLA had twice as many first downs as Colorado. We were on third down conversions. We were 2 for 15 for the whole entire game. And realistically, when you're not moving the ball down the field, you're not moving those chains, you're not going to score touchdowns and keep the offense involved. And the total yards, UCLA had 492 total yards of offense this entire game, and just outmatched our offense, and just outplayed us. And they scored 28 unanswered points until we made it 14-42 in the fourth quarter. So I thought that our offense was really lacking, but we do have a bye week coming.
Improve their program with the verbal commitment of small forward Trayshawn Lexing. Lexing, a 6'5" senior, is currently attending Lincoln High School in Tacoma, Washington. He received offers from UCLA and ASU, but is verbally committed to CU and is waiting to sign a letter of intent on November 14th. Lexing is joining Jaron Hopkins and Dustin Thomas in the 2013 CU recruiting class. With the addition of Lexing, a versatile and highly skilled player at small forward, the Buffs are looking to take the Pac-12 in basketball for years to come.
CU students are already getting excited.
Awesome, because they're CU. I think they're going to do really well. I'm pretty excited because I think we got some good recruits for the men's, and then the women's have always been quite good, so hopefully they'll build on last year.
I mean, I've heard a lot about the men's basketball team and how they have a really good team this year, so we're expecting some good things out of them. Same thing with the women.
Well, it looks like Buff fans are very excited about Midnight Madness next week. If you're interested in going, it's at 8:30 p.m. next Friday following the volleyball game. Be sure to show up and cheer on your Buffs. I'm Connor McHugh, CU Sports Mag.
Every football game, he's in the end zone eyeing the crowd. Not Ralphie or not Chip, but he's the fans' favorite tumbler, Ozell Williams. Sports Mag's Alexis Perry met with a fan favorite for a behind-the-scenes look at the cheerleader's life.
Quiet and Buff fans become bitter. One man knows how to get the crowd on their feet and bring the energy back to Colorado. Junior Ozell Williams is one of the most well-known game day faces here at CU. He has a natural talent to tumble, whether it's a standing tuck or a 50-yard tumbling pass or tumbling swing. To keep him out of trouble, show him what hard.
We won 24 NCAA championships, sent 18 NASA astronauts into space, inspired 4 Nobel laureates, unlocked the genetic secrets of cancer in a place that averages over 300 days of sunshine a year, ranks as America's smartest and healthiest city, and is home to the mightiest mascot in college sports. If you didn't know what the University of Colorado is all about, now you do.
cups of coffee every day. They don't realize with every caffeine-filled cup, they're drinking their way to many harmful side effects. Caffeine interferes with the body's hormones, leading to... And don't forget jitteriness, upset stomachs, and disrupted sleep. With caffeine, going to the bathroom is the least of your problems.
Honey, the credit fairy doesn't exist.
What?
It's make-believe. Nobody left anything under your pillow.
If there's no credit fairy, then we'll make our credit score go up.
We will, by doing things like paying our bills on time.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
What?
Women's soccer is still struggling as they try to get their first win in the Pac-12 Conference. In a scrappy game against the Washington State Cougars, the Buffs lost 1-0. Jocelyn Jeffers scored the lone goal off the corner kick by Brandy Vega in the 73rd minute of the match. Colorado's captain Amy Barzuk received a yellow card. 23 total fouls were called during this game. Wow. CU soccer plans on stepping it up against the second-ranked Stanford Cardinal at home on Sunday at 1 p.m.
The Colorado women's soccer team is off to a strong start under coach Danny Sanchez, losing only one game in their non-conference play, but they are playing in probably the best conference in women's soccer. CU will likely struggle in their Pac-12 schedule, but as SportsMag's Derek Kessinger reports, the high standard that the team carries themselves to is shaping its culture.
The CU women's soccer team is finding greater exposure in the Pac-12 conference. Combined with USA Soccer's gold medal performance, the sport itself is growing more popular than ever. For players at CU, this growing audience carries with it greater responsibility.
I think there is definitely a higher profile for all the sports here. And being in Pac-12 and being on the Pac-12 network, it's important that the face that we're putting out there is a positive one that people want to gravitate to and support.
While the soccer team performs on the field, they understand that they are role models to the next generation, sometimes above everything else.
You just notice that it's the little things that matter, and just going out of your way to say hi or just do something kind of makes their day. And I was the same exact way when I was little. If I went to a college game and they talked to me, I would get so excited.
How we carry ourselves is vitally important because we want their perception to be, which is the reality. This is a great group of young ladies that work hard, that care about the university, and want to be positive role models.
Adding to the soccer team's commitment to excellence, they have one of the highest GPAs and one of the highest graduating rates among teams on campus. As women's soccer continues to grow, the Buffs' outreach programs, including summer camps and appearances, paint the CU players and coaches as ambassadors of the game.
We're always pretty active in the community, and a lot of girls coach at surrounding clubs as far as young players, so I feel like yeah, we have a pretty good reputation and integrity as far as that.
Of course, all work off the field must be represented by a positive effort on the field. The Buffs try to make the game a fun atmosphere as they fight through a daunting Pac-12 schedule.
Our games, it's a family-oriented environment. We have lots of kids here, and you want to be a good role model for these kids because that's what I had. I'm from Boulder, so I watched the CU girls play when I was younger, and I looked up to them, and I hope they can look up to me and other girls on the team.
This is the pinnacle of women's soccer in the state of Colorado, so a lot of these younger players one day will want to be Buffs and want to play at this level, and how we carry ourselves and how we portray it is important to us, but is important to those kids.
The players know their quest for excellence is something they will pursue both on the field and off. Derek Kessinger, CU Sports Mag.
The CU men's golf team traveled to Albuquerque, New Mexico last weekend to compete in the 58th annual New Mexico Tucker Invitational. The Buffs finished runner-up to University of New Mexico after the Lobos got hot in the final round and finished 29 strokes ahead of the second place Buffs. CU's second place finish in last week's tournament was only the third time the program finished runner-up in an Invitational's 58-year history. The CU women's golf team hit a rough patch Tuesday, finishing 15th overall in the 2012 Windy City Classic. Despite the low-ranked junior Jenny Coleman earned a top 20 performance, tying for 14th individually. Coleman finished the tournament 5 over par to 21. CU coach Ann Kelly says this will be a good learning experience for the Buffs. Colorado have had a week and a half to up their game for their 4th tournament of the fall season, the Tar Heel Invitational.
Oregon State out-hit the Buffs to defeat the women's volleyball team 3-1 on Friday night at Gill Coliseum. The Buffs fell to the Oregon State at 11-4 this season. Alexis Austin led CU with 14 kills, and Nikki Lindau also had a double-digit performance with 10 kills. CU was able to gain a win in the third set, but OSU took control in the fourth set, winning the match. Colorado volleyball put up a tough fight on Saturday night, but it wasn't enough to beat the number 2 Oregon Ducks. Oregon defeated the Buffs 3-0 at the Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, Oregon. Junior Nikki Lindau recorded 5 kills, 7 blocks, and also had the best hitting percentage for CU. Freshman Alexis Austin had 4 kills in the effort, and sophomore Nira Ortiz-Ruiz added 3 for the Buffs. Colorado returns home to the Coors Event Center to host Washington and Washington State this weekend. All right, now don't change the channel. We have the answer to that trivia question right after the break.
And we'll let you know what to expect with your weather as you get ready for the weekend.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Nutrition can lead to great things. Find out how a healthy lifestyle can help your child succeed.
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblams, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
No, what'd she say?
She said whatever.
No, she says that all the time.
What's that?
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Mom, I'm on the phone!
Hello? I'm on the phone.
Who's this? It's me. I'm on the phone. Mom.
Oh, you're on the phone. All right.
Sorry!
Sorry. Anyway.
Who are you talking to? Kelly?
Mom.
All right.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
If you have been wondering what the answer for that tricky trivia question is, let us remind you what it is one more time. Who is the highest ranked basketball recruit in CU basketball history? The answer to this question, David Harrison, who was the 13th ranked recruit coming out of high school in 2001. Harrison went to average 15 points per game in his 3-year CU career before being drafted 29th overall by the Indiana Pacers.
Well, Boulder got its first glimpse of snow this morning, Alexis.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Audra Streetman lets us know if more is on the way.
Thanks, guys. We had some really
All right.
interesting weather
I'm
this
gonna
morning.
guess
We
it's
woke up to a light dusting of snow on the ground. If we take a look at our 7-day forecast, you can see that on Saturday morning, we're going to wake up with even more snow. Not very much, just a light dusting, but the high is going to reach 42 degrees, a low of 29. Freezing temperatures in the morning, so make sure you bring a jacket out that day. We're going to warm back up on Sunday to 56 as a high, sunny skies, and then partially cloudy skies through to Wednesday, highs in the mid to upper 60s, and then Thursday and Friday will reach back up into the 70s. So this 7-day gives you a good example of Colorado weather. We have snow to rain and sunshine, everything in between for this week. And then looking forward, we also have the Broncos game. They're taking on the Patriots in Massachusetts. The kickoff is going to be at 2:30 p.m. Colorado time. High will be 55 degrees in Colorado. Sunny skies. It's going to be a really nice day, especially to go out, enjoy the weather, and watch your Broncos. Also, if you don't have time for the Broncos game, the CU women's soccer team is going to be taking on California. This game is going to start at 2 p.m., so right around the time the Broncos are heading out. And the high will be 55 degrees, sunny skies as well. So it'll be a great day. Make sure you go outside, enjoy the weather, especially before we start to cool off as these fall temperatures start to set in and snow is on its way. So have a great weekend, and I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks, Audie.
For Alexis Perry and Rose Heaphy, have a nice week.